Hi everyone, this is Vijay Lakshmi, faculty in DAV RTPP Kadapa, Department of Science. Good morning children and good morning everyone. Welcome back to the session, Cell its basic structure and function. Let us recall the previous knowledge or let us recall what we have learned in the last session. Cell its structure and function. In the last session, we have learned about cell wall, cell membrane, nucleus. Nucleus is a very important organelle in the cell which control all the cell functions. That's why it is called as control room. And nucleus helps in cell division, and nucleus is a storehouse for genetic material. Now today let us discuss about another topics like prokaryotes and eukaryotes. Based on the presence and absence of nucleus, the cells are of two types, prokaryotes and eukaryotes. Prokaryotes means the cell in which there is unorganized nucleus. There is unorganized nucleus. What is meant by unorganized? Unorganized means no special shape or no membrane. Such nucleus we call them as unorganized nucleus. Such type of cells we call them as prokaryotes. And coming to the eukaryotes, in eukaryote cells there is a organized nucleus. That means the nucleus has its own shape like spherical in shape, and the nucleus is covered with a membrane. Such type of cells we call them as eukaryotes. Now coming to the prokaryotes examples, let us discuss the examples of prokaryotes. In prokaryotes, the example is bacteria, cyanobacteria and blue-green algae. These are the examples of prokaryotes. Now coming to the eukaryotes. In eukaryote cell is seen in all the higher plants and higher animals. In eukaryotes, we come across well-organized nucleus. Not only nucleus children, along with the nucleus, all the cell organelles are also present in the eukaryotes, and they have their own specific function. Coming to these prokaryotes, they don't have unorganized, they have unorganized nucleus, and the genetic material will be in the form of RNA or DNA floating in the cytoplasm. If the genetic material may be RNA or DNA which is floating in the cytoplasm. So now next thing we discuss about various other cell organelles like mitochondria, endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi bodies, lysosomes, vacuoles, etc. Ribosomes, etc. These are the different cell organelles. Today, let us discuss another important cell organelle called endoplasmic reticulum. What is the another organelle? Endoplasmic reticulum. Endo means inside, within. Plasmic means fluid. Reticulum means network. So these endoplasmic reticulums are very special structures present in the cytoplasm of the cell. And these endoplasmic reticulum have number of tubes and sheets. Number of tubes and sheets. Endoplasmic reticulum consists of number of tubes and sheets connected to the nucleus. And this endoplasmic reticulum, the main functions of endoplasmic reticulum is provide strength and support. They are the basic skeleton of the cell. And this endoplasmic reticulum, the another function of it is provide the surface for the synthesis of materials. What type of materials are synthesized? Let us discuss deeply. This endoplasmic reticulum are of two types. Smooth endoplasmic reticulum, rough endoplasmic reticulum. Now coming to the rough endoplasmic reticulum, on the surface of endoplasmic reticulum, we come across a spherical, on the surface of endoplasmic reticulum, we come across a spherical bodies called ribosomes. And these ribosome, the main function of ribosome is protein synthesis. Ribosomes synthesize proteins, and proteins are very essential for our body. Proteins are essential for various purposes. Proteins help for growth, repair of the cell, and formation of new cell. Formation of new cells. So, my dear children, proteins are very essential for our body, and these proteins are synthesized by ribosomes, and these ribosomes are present on the endoplasmic reticulum and provide a rough surface area for endoplasmic reticulum. That's why these ribosomes are called as rough. These endoplasmic reticulum is called as rough endoplasmic reticulum. There is another type of endoplasmic reticulum where ribosomes are absent. Such type of endoplasmic reticulum, we call it as smooth endoplasmic reticulum. And this smooth endoplasmic reticulum function is lipid synthesis. Lipids are also called as fats. So two types of reticulum: rough endoplasmic reticulum, smooth endoplasmic reticulum. Rough endoplasmic reticulum synthesize the proteins, whereas smooth endoplasmic reticulum synthesize the lipids. And totally, this endoplasmic reticulum provides a surface area for the synthesis of various materials various materials required for the cell metabolic activities. Now coming to the cytoplasm. Cytoplasm is a fluid present inside the cell enclosed by plasma membrane. But in earlier days, the fluid that is present inside the cell is called as protoplasm. Proto means first, plasm means fluid. And in earlier days, scientists thought that protoplasm is the essence of life. And this protoplasm, with the help of this protoplasm, they thought that a new life started with the help of protoplasm. Or the protoplasm contains materials which are required for the synthesis of new life. Later, they come to know that protoplasm, not only protoplasm, along with the protoplasm, there are so many structures present in the cell. These structures, we call them as cell organelles, and each cell organelles has its own specific function. By the discovery of these cell organelles, this protoplasm is renamed as cytoplasm. Only they thought that the protoplasm itself is the essence of life and essential for the formation of new life. Later, with the discovery of other organelles, and not only discovery of that other organelles, and every organelles have its own specific function. So later this protoplasm is named as cytoplasm. And protoplasm is a transparent watery fluid which contains minerals, salts, ions, and nutrients like carbohydrates, etc. And this cytoplasm provides nourishment for entire the cell. It nourishes the cells and cell organelles. Now, coming to the next important organelle called Golgi bodies. Another very important organelle called Golgi bodies. These Golgi bodies are flattened sac-like structures. Another very important organelle is Golgi bodies. Golgi bodies are the flattened sac-like structures, and these flattened sac-like structures we call them as cisternae. What we call it? Cisternae, the flattened sac-like structures. And to this flattened sac-like structures, there are some spherical structures called vesicles. The spherical structures called vesicle. That means Golgi bodies consist of two major parts. The first part is called cisternae, which is flat-end sac-like structure, and the spherical structures we call them as vesicles. The main function of Golgi complex is involved in secretion. And not only involved in secretion, the other important function of Golgi bodies is the proteins that are synthesized in the endoplasmic reticulum will be transported into the Golgi bodies. Inside the Golgi bodies, the proteins are packed and dispatched to the respective organelles or to the various parts of the cell. Packing and dispatching of proteins will take place in the Golgi bodies. Where these proteins are synthesized? Proteins are synthesized on endoplasmic reticulum. When you consider the endoplasmic reticulum as a factory, these ribosomes are called as missionaries. These ribosomes produce proteins, and these proteins are sent into the Golgi bodies. Inside the Golgi bodies, proteins are slightly altered, packed and dispatched into the respective parts of the cell. Before their dispatching, these proteins are packed in vesicles, and these vesicles will fuse with the Golgi bodies and sent to the different parts of the cell. So, Golgi bodies play a very important role, and the number of the Golgi bodies will vary from cell to cell. These Golgi bodies are more number in the glands like pancreas, salivary glands, etc. Because these glands are involved in secretion of respective juices. So Golgi body is also involved in secretion. Now coming to the another very important organelle called mitochondria. This is a very important organelle. Very important organelle called mitochondria. This mitochondria is a double membrane structure. This is the outer membrane and this is the inner membrane. So mitochondria is a membrane bound structure, outer membrane and inner membrane. The outer membrane is very smooth, whereas the inner membrane is thrown into finger-like projections. They look like fingers, finger-like projections. These finger-like projections, we call them as cristae. And this mitochondria will play a very important role in generating energy. And that's why mitochondria are called as powerhouses of the cell. Powerhouses of the cell. Why? Because they generate energy. They generate energy in the form of a chemical energy called ATP. What is the full form of ATP? Adenosine. Already you learnt in class 8. Adenosine triphosphate. Now, the food that we eat is digested in the digestive system. The digested food enters into the blood. Through blood, it is supplied to the mitochondria which are present in the cell. And these mitochondria oxidize the food material, break down the chemical bonds present in the glucose and releases energy in the form of ATP. And this ATP is also called as energy currency. ATP is also called as energy currency. And the number of mitochondria varies from cell to cell. They are mostly in different shapes like thread, like sac-like. And the mitochondrial number will be more in the cells of muscles present in hands and legs. Muscles present in hands and legs. Why? Because we need the leg muscles of our body need more energy while we are walking, climbing the steps. That's why these leg muscle cells consist of more number of mitochondria. This mitochondria provides energy for the entire cell. Every cell need energy, and that energy is produced by mitochondria, and that's why it is also called as powerhouses of cell, because mitochondria produces energy, and this energy is used by the cellular metabolic activities. That's why we call it as powerhouses of the cell. Thank you, children. Tomorrow we will meet in the next session, the cell and its structure and function, part 3.